The British Touring Car Championship is a nearly 70-year-old racing series that takes part at tracks across England and Scotland, and sometimes Wales, and sometimes Northern Ireland. And there was once a street race around Birmingham, but that's a story for another time.
It's the Monaco of the Midlands here at Birmingham, an anti-clockwise lap, 2.47 miles of very bumpy city streets, speeds of up to 160 miles an hour, and nowhere to go if you get it wrong. So the front row of the rolling grid is the place to be at the start, and that's where Andy Rouse on the left and Rob Gravett are.
Established in 1958 as the British Saloon Car Championship and then renamed the British Touring Cars in 1987, the cars are based on models commonly found on public roads, but built to touring car spec, with 2-litre turbocharged engines with a hybrid system built in designed by Cosworth Electronics. Top speeds are around 150 miles per hour with slick tyres provided by Goodyear. But at a touring car weekend, the touring cars aren't the only series you will see, as will be discovered in this video about my time at Oulton Park this weekend. We start the day with a track walk, although we were a bit late and we got kicked off by a marshal. But then we walked around to the paddock where you're able to get up and close with some cars and even some of the drivers. There are also some stalls and lots of things to do.
Oh, he's being big, crosses the line.
The quick fit guys were very popular, but this was mostly because they were giving away free hats. You're also able to get into the garages where you can get a close look at the same cars that will be racing that day. And at precisely 17 minutes past 12, the first touring car race began.
Just got there, goes wheel to wheel as they come down the first one to do that. There's a long way round if you want to get back to the lead in these early stages, and remember, you cannot keep
But as I said, the touring cars aren't the only racing series on offer this weekend. The Porsche Carrera Cup is the second tier of Porsche Cup racing, the top tier being the Porsche Super Cup that supports the F1 race weekends. The Porsche Carrera Cup is the fastest single marquee GT racing competition in the UK. The field is made up of 23 identical Porsche 911 GT3 Cup cars, which places the focus on individual drivers and team performances.
Ross Worley to come back down towards you, and Adam towards you, and then take you on the front side, and you've got the car, and then it's back down accelerate over to the top on the floor, back into our side,
Up next was the Haggerty Radical Cup, which consists of two grids of the SR1s and the SR3 cars, with the SR1 having a 1.3 litre engine and the SR3 having a 1.5. The one that really caught my eye though was the one sporting the Leighton House livery, similar to that of the F1 team which ran between 1987 and 1991. This was the team that famously gave Adrian Newey his first break into Formula 1. Although I don't think this radical car actually had any links to the Leighton House team, because the owner of the Leighton House team was arrested in 1991 due to a financial scandal which brought an end to the team, and then he's also been dead for like 5 or 6 years. So I think this isn't above board, so don't tell anyone.
Pose for the cameras, I can tell you the reverse grid number that Jake Hill picked out was number 7. That's
And prevented lead out, so Radicals just underway, both sets of races, the SR3s followed by the SR1s. Darryl
It's 2 races at once.
Hat-trick on race victory, he leads, James leads second, then James Laney's early stages so far, so it's 2 and 1 in first and second place.
Also at the weekend, you'll see mini racing. This is regarded by many as the feeder series for the touring cars, with 20 275 brake horsepower minis making up the field.
Stoney, well done Shane, that's a popular result. Gets a beautiful cut off. All careful, up the podium as he comes and gets the winner's trophy in SR1. And as they all bunch up together on the top
And finally, there is the British Formula 4. Featuring some teams that fans of Formula 2 and Formula 3 may recognise, such as Roden Carlin, Hi-Tech and Virtuosi. But there has been many drivers who you may recognise who have taken part in this series at some point, such as the 2015 Formula 4 champion Lando Norris. That season also featured current IndyCar star Colton Herta, and the very first touring car event I ever went to was the 2017 event at Oulton Park, which featured the first ever Formula 4 win for a young Oscar Piastri. And here's a very blurry photo I took on the day, which is of current Williams driver Logan Sargent. And in 2018, I took this photo of a Red Bull liveried car, which featured the number 33, because I was like, oh look, it's like the Max Verstappen. But it turns out that car was being driven by current Alpine reserve driver and Formula 2 driver Jack Doohan, and his teammate at that race was Dennis Hauger, who's also currently in Formula 2. In 2019, I've got to see the likes of Luke Browning, who was just joining the Williams Academy, and Zane Maloney won that weekend. And this year, he won the Stop and Go F1 Star of F2 for the Bahrain Grand Prix weekend. Unbelievable stuff. So if you want to be the kind of guy who can go, oh yeah, Oscar Piastri, I saw him win a Formula 4 race in 2017, you should go to a touring car event.
the top step of the podium, and this is the time to get the phones out. Many phones are up. Photograph of
start off the line was for Isaac Barashi, that lucky crash yesterday with Jesse Carrier alongside him on the front row of the grid.
So on the day, you get a pit walk, access to the paddock, access to garages, you get a Porsche Carrera Cup race, the Haggerty Radical Cup race, the Virtuosi Motors Mini Challenge race, 2 Formula 4 races, and 3 British touring car Championship races. All of that for just £33, which is around 36 times cheaper than the average price of a single race ticket for the Formula 1 this year. So if you want to get up and close with some really good racing and have a great day, you should really go and see the British touring cars.